Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Riri Jay. My name is Riri, and this is officially a safe space for self-love, healing, confidence, and elevation. So if you're interested in content like this, please subscribe and stay tuned. Hold on. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Riri Jay. If you are an OG, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. This is a safe space where we're going to be talking about how to navigate your 40 somethings, your 40 plus and beyond, okay? Because when I say it is a journey, it is a journey, and it's an unexpected journey. One day you wake up and you realize, I don't like none of this. I'm selling my house and I'm moving to Miami. So I am creating this podcast like content now that is going to cater to my 40 somethings, and we're going to get through this together. So as for me, I'll be 43 this year. And you know what? If you would have asked me when I was 17 how I would feel be turning 43, I would probably start crying because I was terrified of becoming old. Like, I just thought 43 was like you're on your deathbed. But no, here I am. Here we are in our 40s. We're thriving, we're beautiful, we're taking care of ourselves, and that's for most people. But there's some people out there that is allowing their 40s to carry them through there. Some people are allowing their 40s and beyond to just turn them every way but loose, and that's what I'm here for. As you know, if you are OG, you know that I started my YouTube channel really talking about how to create side hustles. I taught how to create loan signings and become a loan signer and make all that money. I have since stopped doing that long time ago, and now I work in the banking industry, the financial industry, and I absolutely love it. So that's a career change for me. That career change happened when I turned 40, and it was beautiful, and it still is beautiful. So I have my notes right here so I can stay on track, because I would start rambling. But guys, let's get right into it. Okay, 40 something. What is going on when you hit 40? What space are you finding yourself in randomly when you're in your 40s? Especially if you have kids. This one is a big one. So if you have kids and you're 40, unless you had your kids like older in life, I had my children when I was in my 20s, because I already knew that I did not want to raise children at 40. Young kids at 40. Now that I'm 40, I love it because I have a 22-year-old. He is in the military. He's off in New York right now with all that ice and that snow. Ugh. And I have a soon-to-be 18-year-old. He will be leaving high school soon, graduating high school soon, and going into his career field, which is a trade in either electricity or HVAC. So whichever one, I'm rooting for him. That's a great career path to go down. But when it comes to being a mother, even though my kids, even when they were 16 and they were younger, they really didn't bother me as much. They were kind of already, teenagers. They were on their own. They were in the house still. Okay. They were in the house. And so I still felt like I had to make sure I cooked, make sure that I was on them about things. And now that I have one that's out the house and then one that's about to leave, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because I'm no longer needed to that capacity that I used to be needed by them. When it started to happen, I realized, oh my gosh. And if you're not careful, you can start to depend too much on your kids for your happiness in this season. You would start holding them to certain standards and expectations that will drain them. So it's so important when you feel like you're no longer being needed by your children that you start to turn the attention to yourself. You start looking at things that you can do in your life that's going to not only keep you busy, but keep you healthy. I know for me, I am an avid workout person. I love working out. I love doing cardio. I love keeping my body fit. Don't allow the fact that your kids are growing up and leaving the home impact you in a way to where you fall into depression. Okay, that's what I really want to talk about. Allow yourself to accept the fact that your kids are getting older, but then once that time of acceptance is over, now let's get to the good part. And the good part is becoming the main character in your life now. We'll get into fitness and the things you can do to help you in this space a little bit later in the video, but let's continue with some things that you might be going through in your 40s. So the first one was, again, having kids and watching them grow up and move out your house, and how that can negatively impact you if you're not aware of that necessary change is going to happen. The second one is perimenopause. Now, perimenopause is something that I had a lot of questions on. I really didn't know a lot about what perimenopause entails, and that's mainly because I haven't experienced any symptoms from it. From what I heard, the symptoms are changes in your cycle, mood swings, disturbances in your sleep, and more. And I can truly say I have not experienced that yet, at least. And I think it's because of my fitness journey and also how much I hydrate and just take care of myself. But I hear a lot of women talk about perimenopause, and it sounds terrifying, but I want you to know that it doesn't have to be terrifying. That's just your body saying, hey, I'm changing. Now I need for you to do things to help make this situation better. Sitting down and complaining and crying about it is not going to help. Okay, you have to start implementing things that's going to help make your body more comfortable during this change, because again, it's going to happen to every woman out there. Perimenopause is going to happen. Menopause is going to happen. It's just, what are you doing and what things are you putting in place to help make your body as comfortable as possible and as strong as possible to go through that phase. There's this amazing woman on TikTok. She came up with a perimenopause / menopause group that's called We Do Not Care. And I just thought that was the most hilarious thing ever, and so cute as well, because she just goes over a list of things that women that's going through perimenopause and menopause just do not care about no more. And I totally understand where she's coming from with that, because like I said earlier, as you get older, the things that you did at one point care about and would stress over or worry about now just don't seem to matter. So here's a video of her going over her list for 2026. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to all new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. I started this club for all women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. We are putting the world on notice that we simply just do not care much anymore. This will be the beginning of our 2026 announcements. They are not meant to offend, but simply give clarity to what we will and will not accept in this new year. So let's go ahead and get started with today's announcements. We do not care if the new year reveals who was only comfortable with us when we were struggling. We do not care if you feel left behind this year. We sent notice, you just didn't read it. We do not care if we stop answering questions that should have been answered with common sense. We do not care if the only thing we're carrying into the new year is boundaries, not grudges, not guilt, not other people's expectations of who they want us to be. We do not care if we outgrow rooms, routines, or relationships, and we don't circle back around to explain why. We do not care if we rest more, say less, and choose ourselves unapologetically. We do not care if you miss the old version of us. She has retired. We do not care if our availability feels different this year. Access is no longer automatic. We do not care if you're waiting on a response. Patience builds character. We do not care if you are offended by our boundaries. It wasn't built for your comfort. We do not care if our energy feels guarded. It is. We do not care if you call us cold. We're just no longer warm to disrespect. That concludes our announcements. For our new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club, go ahead and put in the comments what we no longer care about in 2026 so I can add those to our list. Thank you.
I love it. Yes, girl. So her name is Just Being Melanie on TikTok. So if you want to check her out, please do check her out. But everything that she mentioned in that list, I feel like people should follow that list, even if you're not going through perimenopause or menopause, because that is a form of protecting yourself, protecting your mental health when you stop pretending, when you stop performing, when you stop trying to seek validation and prove your worth. When you get to a point where you're just like, I don't care anymore, trust me, you're not going to care no more. And it's not you being cold, it's just you saying no. It's you simply saying, no, I cannot show up in that way that you want me to. And that's perfectly fine. I love that for her. Again, her name is Just Being Melanie on TikTok. So definitely check her out. Perimenopause is definitely real. And again, if you find yourself in a situation where you are feeling those symptoms, that is normal. But at the same time, you also need to be proactive in doing things that is going to help your body get through that portion or that phase of your life. On to the next one, your body changes. So when you get older, your body starts to hold on to fat. Okay, it starts to hold on to visceral fat and subcutaneous fat all in your abdomen. It is so much more easier for fat to settle there, and it's so hard for it to leave. Even with how your face starts to change, the muscles in your face start to weaken, and your neck starts to get, a little bit crazy looking. You know what I'm saying? So again, this all ties into fitness, guys. You got to apply some weightlifting, apply cardio, and hydrate. Those, oh my God, I cannot stress that enough. Those are the things that's going to keep you looking as youthful as possible for as long as possible. And again, I will leave you guys with some baby steps you can start taking to help combat the perimenopause symptoms, the supplements that you can probably start taking later in this video. And the last thing that I feel that is happening in your 40s is that, simply put, life just does not feel the same. The life that you built when you were in mommy mode, the life that you built when you had a demanding career, the life that you built when you were younger and you had all these dreams and aspirations, or these thoughts that, of things that you held to a high regard, now just simply does not feel the same anymore. It almost feels like you're now in a whole different parallel universe. And I've seen where some people sell their houses, get an RV, and just travel the world. I've seen where some people literally just pick up and just move to another city, change careers, just do something to kind of shake up the change in your life and kind of build back that momentum. And you know what? Heck yeah. Do it. When you get to this stage in your life and your kids are older and you're at a space where you have that freedom that you did not have before, or you just feel like the life that you built is just not the same anymore, it is totally fine to pick up and do something different that's going to create new and fresh momentum in your life. This reminds me of like the old school days when our grandparents, they would buy a house. Our grandparents would buy a house and live in it forever. Like, that's the house they would literally die in. because they didn't feel a need to do anything extra. Maybe funds were not where they needed to be. Maybe they just didn't know what they wanted to do. But I feel like now in this newer generation, we are so much different from our grandparents. And I feel like now we're a lot more youthful, first of all, than what our grandparents were. And I feel like we just mentally, we are in a different space than they were back in the day. And so it's so important to take inventory of where you are when you start to feel that way about just up and leaving or doing something radical. You definitely want to weigh out the pros and the cons and write down step by step of how you're going to get to that point in your life where you can just sell your house and move to Miami like I've been wanting to do. Y'all, I have been wanting to sell my house and move to Miami so bad, but I feel like right now it's not a good time for me to do that. And I found that out because I sat down, I made a list, I wrote out my goals, I wrote out timelines of how everything's going to fit in place. And right now just isn't the perfect time just for me to go and up and leave. So I have to stay rooted, continue with my current and existing routines. But when that time comes and I see that now is the perfect time, oh, you better believe I'm going to take it. So yes, you definitely want to take your time with that and give yourself grace and space to come up with a plan that's going to work out for you. So with that being said, let's get into the first thing you need to do to start really analyzing this new space that you found yourself in. The first one is start listening to what irritates you. Because irritation is information. If certain things make you feel drained, annoyed, or heavy, that's not you being difficult. That's your spirit telling you this doesn't fit anymore. Okay? That's when you gotta really, again, write those things down. Now we don't write things down now. We got everything in our phone. Get your notepad out. Type in the things that are irritating you. Type in the things that are causing resistance in your life, and start to break that down on what you can do to make those subtle changes in your life to make your life a lot more smooth running. I know for me, creating a morning routine and creating an evening routine has helped me so much, because now I wake up in the mornings, I know exactly what I need to do. I do it. It makes me feel great. I meditate. That's a part of my routine. And then I'm off to work. In the evening, I come home, I have a set list of things I need to do that night that helps me as far as staying grounded and allowing myself to identify the things that I'm doing that are irritating me, that is causing resistance, so that I can weed it out of my life. The second thing is date yourself like you want someone else to date you. Okay, I cannot stress this. Y'all listen, I love this part. When I was single, I used to go on solo dates all the time. When I tell you, I used to be so excited about, going out on a Friday night in my cutest outfit and trying out that restaurant that I always wanted to go to, but I always had in my mind, well, I need a man before I can go do that. No, you don't. Or I need a woman. No, you don't. Just do it. Just take yourself out on a date. Take yourself out to that movie date. Take yourself out to that concert that's coming in town. So when somebody new comes into your life, you're able to now know how you want to be treated. You can't expect someone to come in your life and treat you a certain way when you can't even do that for yourself. That is insanity. Use this time as a time of self-discovery by taking yourself out on dates, enjoying nature, and just enjoying you. Okay? And I'm telling you, when that person comes along, you're so self-sufficient in yourself and your routines and your solo dates. You're going to still keep doing that while you're with someone. That's beautiful. Even now, I still have my solo date. I still take myself out every now and then by myself. I grab my tablet, I grab a good book, I go read. I'm just enjoying myself. So that is so important for you to do as well. And not when it's you have time. This is a necessity. Number 3, let yourself grieve the old version of you. because the old version of you served you very well. She served her purpose. Okay. She got you here. She survived all of the ups and downs that life had to throw at you. Okay. She got you here. However, she might not be the person that you want to carry you into this next chapter of your life, because no, you would probably regret it, because her mentality, the previous you mentality, the way they handled things, the way they thought, it was the younger version of you. She's not going to have the mental capacity that you have now, the wisdom that you have now to move forward. So yes, grieve the old version of you, but let her go and embrace the woman that you are now. It's almost like a butterfly. You were a cocoon, okay, in survival mode. Now you're a beautiful butterfly, and it is time for you to move on. So grieve the old version of yourself. Accept the fact that there's things that you just have to let go of from this old version of you, and move forward gracefully. Number 4, try new things without needing to be perfect. This is a big one, especially for me. I have always wanted to be perceived as perfect, or I was always a people pleaser. When I was a younger girl, I always wanted the approval of the adults around me. I always wanted them to see me as this good child, because I felt like when I was a child, I was kind of bad, so they would always say how bad I was, how hard-headed I was. So I created this complex to where I went on this journey to prove them wrong. For so long, I was in that mode. And so I had to, I feel like my mindset has changed. And now, child, listen, there's no need to be perfect. Just get out there and be yourself. A lot of women don't try new things in their 40s also, because they don't want to look stupid or look childish or look some kind of way to total strangers. It doesn't matter. Go out and dance in the rain. Go out and just do cartwheel flips in a field somewhere. Don't hurt yourself though doing that, but go out and just live your life. Live life. Try the dance class. Try the gym routine. Travel. Try that new hairstyle you've been wanting to try. Shoot, start a podcast. Get a new friend group. Those are things that you can just start looking into, so that you can get yourself out there, so that you can break out of your comfort zone and start to expose yourself to new things. Just yesterday, I took myself out on a solo date. I had gotten a $50 gift card from this beautiful restaurant called Eddie V's here in Charlotte. And I was alone, but I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and enjoy this free meal. So I went, and when I tell you, the bar was crowded, and I was just not in a conversational mode. But instead of going home and trying again, I went ahead and I sat next to this older white male. He was a lawyer. And when I tell you, we had one of the best conversations I've had in a long time. Like, me and some friends are planning on going on a ski trip, but I really did not know like any good recommendations for where to go. Child, this man had traveled the world. He gave me all types of great options for different ski resorts in Colorado. He said Colorado was the best option, and I can go on and on and on. But what I'm saying is, when you put yourself out there in spaces that you might feel a little uncomfortable in, or you might feel like people are watching you, they probably are, because you're beautiful. First of all, let's just get that straight. But no, when you put yourself out there, you will open yourself up to beautiful experiences, great conversations, and you meet friends along the way. Trust me. So get yourself out there and do not be scared to live life in this stage of your life. All right, so some things that you can start doing now to get control of this phase in your life. The first thing is, please start implementing light weightlifting and cardio at least 1 to 2 times a week. You don't have to go to a gym if you don't have a gym to go to. You can do this by just buying some barbells off of Amazon. You can do this by walking around your neighborhood, if it's a good neighborhood, and getting your steps in. But you have to do that. That is the first thing. The second thing is start intermittent fasting. Okay, if you can skip breakfast, do it. If you can eat one meal a day, do it. If you can go 8 hours a day and not eat, do it. You got to create that discipline to where you don't eat for extended periods of time. This also gives your body a break from digestion, and it allows that energy to go elsewhere in your body that needs healing as well. One of my favorite meals that I have once a day is sweet potatoes with ground beef. When I tell y'all, sweet potatoes and ground beef with a little bit of hot honey.
Quicker you come to terms with cutting them sweet potatoes down the middle, slapping them in the oven at 400 degrees for an hour, and cooking you a pot full of ground beef, lean ground beef, the leanest one you can find, the better off you'll be. Yeah, the better off you'll be.
Listen, that is chef's kiss. It fills me up. It's super healthy and full of nutrition. And I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat for that day because I have what I'm going to eat. And it's okay to eat the same thing every day for a whole week at a time. Okay, you should try it. So next, when it comes to supplements, these are the 4 things that I swear by. The first one is vitamin B12. Good for energy. Vitamin D. It is wintertime, so we're not getting a lot of sunlight. And also vitamin D helps when it comes to regulating your dopamine levels, keeping you out of depression, keeping you a lot more uplifted. Vitamin D is really good for that. Vitamin C, a good probiotic, and fiber. You need fiber to keep yourself regulated and keep things moving, should I say. You want to keep things moving, especially when you get older. You definitely want to keep things moving, honey. Lord Jesus, keep it moving, okay? Keep that fiber in you. Keep the fiber in you, please. One fiber source that I love is prune juice, okay? I'm a sucker for a good cup of prune juice. That is an excellent source of fiber, so you can definitely begin there. All right, the other thing is establish a morning and evening routine. I feel like now more than ever, your body is craving a routine. If you're just willy-nilly doing whatever you want and going to work, coming home, sleep, nothing, like you don't have some kind of structure, that can also not be good for you in the long run. You want to have a routine in the morning and a routine in the evening. And the last thing is start romanticizing your life, guys. Okay, I understand getting older is the least romantic thing, I feel, but it don't have to be your story. Get dressed, do your hair, go get your facials, go get massages. Even if you don't have the funds to do all of that, at least work with what you got. Work with what you have to make yourself feel beautiful every day if you can. Because that is going to also help you as well when it comes to what you're going through, how you're aging, perimenopause, all that stuff. When you romanticize yourself and you make yourself feel beautiful and you love on yourself, like who else can do it better than you, honey? Nobody. But let me tell you something. The real glow up is this. You stop abandoning yourself. Okay? You stop letting yourself fall by the wayside. You start showing up. You start fulfilling your promises to yourself now. Now is the perfect time, guys. Okay? Stop shrinking. Stop begging and stop explaining. If you're still doing that and you're 40 plus, cut it. Okay? Cut it out. Stop trying to convince people that you matter. You want to start moving with more purpose now, more than ever. Here are some affirmations that I want you to say to yourself every morning when you look in the mirror at yourself. Okay? I am valuable. Okay? I am worthy. I am allowed to start over. I am allowed to want more. Because all of that is true. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to want more. And if you plant a lie in your head that you do not deserve any of that, you are shortchanging yourself. You are in the season to finally become the main character. And I know it feels scary. Trust me, I know. But it's also the most powerful thing that you will ever do is uplift yourself in this season of your life. When you start to take inventory of your life and where you are right now, you don't find the version of you that was acceptable. You find the version of you that is real. So if this video spoke to you, I want you to comment this below. I am finding me again. And if you're ready for this era of self-love and self-elevation and becoming her after 40, make sure you subscribe, because baby, we are not playing small anymore. Okay, we are not playing small anymore. We are not settling anymore. And we are definitely not living a life on autopilot anymore. Okay? I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Make sure to subscribe for more. Bye.